First grade, today we're going to do some envisioning and picturing with a book that we looked at the other day. Remember, when we envision, we imagine that we are at the movies and that we have our popcorn and our drink and maybe our 3D or our 4D glasses, and that what we're doing is we can picture what is up on the screen. When we read a book, we do the same thing, except the movie's not made for us. Instead, when we read a book, what we're doing is we're listening to the words really carefully, or we're reading the words really carefully, and we're creating the picture ourselves in our mind. We're creating the movie ourselves, or we're drawing a picture in our mind. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to revisit a book that we looked at the other day, and we're going to once in a while maybe stop and envision or picture. And at the end, you're going to create a really cool picture of some things that you envisioned during the story. All right, here we go.
Hello and welcome back to another edition of Sing Kofa Read Aloud. Today's story is titled Sulwe, written by Lupita Nyong'o, illustrated by Vashti Harrison. I hope that you enjoyed this amazing story. Sulwe was born the color of midnight. She looked nothing like her family, not even a little, not even at all. Mama was the color of dawn, Baba the color of dusk, and Meech, her sister, was the color of high noon. Hardly anyone at school looked like Sulwe either. People gave her sister Meech pet names like Sunshine and Ray and Beauty. People gave Sulwe names like Blackie and Darky and Night. Sulwe felt hurt every time, so she hid away while her sister made lots of friends. Sulwe dreamed of being the same color as her sister. She wanted real friends too. So she got the biggest eraser she could find and tried to rub off a layer or two of her darkness. That hurt. She crept into Mama's room and helped herself to her makeup. Oh no, she would hear about this from Mama. Sulwe decided to work from the inside out and ate only the lightest, brightest foods. With a stomach ache, she went to bed early and turned to God for a miracle. Dear Lord, why do I look like midnight when my mother looks like dawn? Please make me as fair as the parents I'm from. I want to be beautiful, not just to pretend. I want to have daylight. I want to have friends. If you hear me, my Lord, and would like to comply, may I wake up as bright as the sun in the sky. Amen. When Mama came in to wake her for school the next morning, Solway rose to find not a trace of daylight in her midnight skin. Solway told Mama everything. Mama asked, "What is your name?" Solway, she muttered. "And what does it mean?" "Star," Solway whispered. "Brightness is not in your skin, my love. Brightness is just who you are." "As for beauty," Mama said, rubbing Solway's stomach the way she always did to comfort her, "you are beautiful." Solway sighed. "Well, you are beautiful to me, but you can't rely on what you look like to make you feel beautiful, my sweet. Real beauty comes from your mind and your heart. It begins with how you see yourself, not how others see you. Now, up you get and out you go." How could she, as dark as she was, have brightness in her? How could she have beauty when no one but her mother seemed to see it? How could she be a star? That night, a shooting star appeared at Solway's window. "The night sent me," the star said. "Come with me." Solway hopped onto the star and off they went. Long ago.
First graders, this is where we stopped the other day, and you stopped and you took out paper and you pictured in your mind what Sulwe did next. and you thought about the background information that you knew about Sulwe and the things that she wanted and the things that were upsetting her. And you started to draw a picture of what you thought was going to happen next to the book, and we shared them out. A lot of you drew pictures of Sulwe with a friend doing something fun, and we discussed how it didn't really matter what Sulwe looked like and that all she wanted was a friend. And when she jumped onto that star brought her to a friend, some of you said, and different things. So that was a lot of fun to stop in the middle of the book and think about what we were picturing in our mind that was going to happen next, and thinking about the information we already knew to help drive our pictures a little bit further. So we're going to listen a little more to the rest of the book. I know you're anxious to see what happens next in the story. And as we're listening to the story, create your own pictures in your mind about what's going on in the story, because your pictures might differ from the author's actual illustrations. And that's okay, because good readers and good listeners create their own pictures and think about what they know is going on in the story. So let's continue on and listen to the rest of the story.
At the beginning of time, the star said, there was a night and day, and they were sisters. They loved each other very much, but people didn't treat the sisters the same. People gave day pet names like lovely and nice and pretty. People gave night names like scary and bad and ugly. She felt hurt every time. Well, night got fed up and walked right off the earth. Day stayed behind and enjoyed making everybody happy in the sun, but then day grew too long. Day began to really miss her sister. So did everyone else. There had to be a way to get her back. Day set off to find Night, and she did. I miss you, said Day. I miss you too, said Night, but you don't know what it's like to be treated badly for being dark. You're right, I don't, Day replied, but what I do know is that we need you just the way you are. Come and see. Night returned and the people rejoiced. We need the darkest night to get the deepest rest. We need you so that we can grow and dream and keep our secrets to ourselves. The stars chimed in. Brightness isn't just for daylight. Light comes in all colors, and some light can only be seen in the dark. While day had a golden glow, with night everything had a silver sheen, elegant and fine. Day told her sister, when you are darkest is when you are most beautiful. It's when you are most you. Could it be that night did not need to change, not even a little, not even at all? Now that night and day were back together, a little bit of night returned to day in the form of shadows, and a little bit of day returned to night in the form of moonlight. They were inseparable from that moment on and promised to celebrate the brightest in each other, whether people chose to see it or not. You
First graders, this is a great place to kind of stop and think about how they're inseparable and what the two of them learned and why they're inseparable. So maybe you're creating a picture in your head or a movie in your head, but that's what we do when we listen to books and when we read books. We really think about the words and what might be happening next and creating our own pictures. So if you have a moment to do that, if you want to, you can stop the video, press pause, and you can envision or picture. You can do it in your head, or you can actually take out a little piece of scrap paper and some crayons and do that as well. At the end of the story, you'll be taking out a piece of paper and doing that one. But this one right now is a choice. So if you just want to stop and think about it in your head for a moment, that's fine. If you want to stop and draw, that's fine as well. But that's what good readers do, is they kind of stop to think about the words and envision what's going to happen or picture what's happening at the moment.
see, the star explained, we need them both on their sunniest day and their darkest night, and every shade in between. Together, They make the world we know light and dark, strong and beautiful. Sulwe rose the next morning beaming. There would be no hiding anymore. She belonged out in the world, dark and beautiful, bright and strong. And if she ever needed a reminder of her brightness, she could look up at the sky on the darkest night to see herself. Solway felt beautiful inside and out.
First graders, you've heard the whole story of Sulwe. It was a really good book. It was a great book for envisioning and picturing and thinking about how Sulwe changed in the book, how she kind of felt like she didn't have any friends in the beginning of the story, and she thought maybe how she had to change for those friends. What I'd like for you to do is you can get a piece of paper. You can also get the seesaw activity, and you can draw. What you're going to do is draw a picture of what you envisioned Solway having a friend and create an Instagram post of them hanging out together and think about what the perfect friend for Solway would be like. All right, enjoy your assignment and enjoy picturing and envisioning as you listen to books and as you read books yourself.